So you're welcome back to our class for week 5. Today is JavaScript fundamentals. So we are entering JavaScript. We are going to learn the basics of JavaScript, the fundamentals. So what are we going to learn for Saturday's class? We're going to learn what is JavaScript, how to add JavaScript to your HTML, JavaScript statement, JavaScript syntax, JS variables, JS keyword, variable declaration using var, let, and const keyword. Then you're also going to learn about JavaScript variable scope, JS comments, and we are going to understand that JavaScript is case sensitive. Then JavaScript operators, how to declare variables of the following data types: boolean, null, undefined number, string, array, and object. So let's begin. What is JavaScript? Now, JavaScript is the programming language for the web. JavaScript can update and change both HTML and CSS. JavaScript can calculate, manipulate, and validate data. Another name for JavaScript is ECMAScript. So ECMA is a body that is responsible for creating the standard for JavaScript. So when you hear ES5, ES6, those are ECMA standard that are produced, or versions of ECMA standard. So that is what JavaScript is. So referring back to the house analogy, HTML is like the structure, CSS is like the design, the beauty that adds beauty to the house. JavaScript is like the electricity that automates the fan, the television, the air condition, the blender. So anything that is automatic, that is no longer manual, that is what JavaScript, or that is what electricity does. So that's what JavaScript does to a website. It adds interactivity to the website. So how do we add JavaScript to our HTML? So there are two basic ways. The first one is in the head tag. So within the head tag of our HTML code structure. The next one is inside the body tag. So let's demonstrate that. So I'm going to go to my VS Code. I already have a folder structure. This is a folder called JS. Inside it I have my index.js. Then I have my HTML. So now the first one is to add this. So come here, we'll add a script tag. So inside the script tag I will add my alert, which is a function. So I'll just add one, as simple as that. So when I save this, I go to my browser and refresh. I'm going to see this one. So that's good. So let me minimize this so we don't have to. Yes, nice. So that is it. So I can close this guy now. So that is the script. So I can add it within my head tag. Then the same script, if I copy it, I can come inside my body tag. Remember, so I'll change this to 2. So if I save, I'm going to see number 1, which is this one here. 2, number 2, which is this one that is here. So since we can add our JavaScript within our head tag and inside our body tag, and it works on the browser. So is there an advantage, or is there a preference, or of which one should we use now? Which is the best? Is it to add it in the head tag or in the body tag? Where a simple rule is this: any JavaScript that comes from online is CDN, then you can add it here. So JS from CDN. Now why is it recommended that you add it here? Because likely that JavaScript from the CDN does not have anything to do with the body tag. Does not have to. There's no interactivity. So you are using it. It's only when you add a component, it's component that this JavaScript will fire. But any JavaScript that you add by yourself, that you add it to add interactivity to your website, it's always good to add it in the body tag. And why is that so? That is because if you add it as the last part of the body tag, it then means the page would have finished loading before it will start adding interactivity to your web page. That way there will be no error. But if you add it in your head tag, it then means it will try to access elements in your body tag that have not yet loaded, and that will lead to an error and showing a blank screen like this, which might not be good for you, especially when you've hosted your website. So the rule of thumb is, or the rule is this: for any JavaScript that comes from online, a CDN, that is not you that created it, add it on your. It's best to add it in your head tag. But anyone you create by yourself, you add it as the last part of the body tag, so that it will not have issues targeting elements that have not yet loaded. So that said, this is the approach we'll be using. Now, these two methods that we just did now, they are like internal JavaScript. So so this one is internal JavaScript. So I put internal JS. Then we have the external JS. So for the external JS, we'll comment this out. I'll put another script tag now with a source, then dot and forward slash JS, then my index.js. So if I save that, so there's nothing inside our index.js. So let's add a simple alert just to test. Alert 3. So if I do that now, you notice I'm seeing alert 3. So this is the approach we'll be using, because if we work with inline with internal JS, that means we are not isolating the JavaScript from the HTML. So it will be very, very difficult to maintain. So, but when you add it as an external JS, you know that this page is just for JavaScript, and this one is just for what? Your HTML. Of course, we'll have another one for CSS, so everything looks nice and organized. So that is for that. So the next one I want to move to now is this, is JS statement. Now in JavaScript, instructions are called statements and are separated by semicolon. Now any instruction that JavaScript can execute is called what? A statement. So they are executable statement, and you separate them, or you end a statement by adding a semicolon. So that way you can write another statement in line. But in JavaScript, if you write a statement and you hit enter to move to the next line, then it should not throw an error. But it's always a good practice to end each statement with a semicolon. That way it will help you and others who are reading your code. Okay, so that's what JS statement is. So JS syntax. Now JavaScript syntax is the set of rules that determines how JavaScript programs are constructed. So how you write a statement is governed by the rules of a syntax. So you can think of it as the grammatical structure that governs how we make English sentences. So if you don't obey the grammatical rules or the structure, you see that you make incorrect sentences. So that is it. It's just a set of rules. So that said, when I'm teaching you, I'm going to give you the syntax structure. So if you need to remember anything, remember the syntax structure. That way you make accurate statement that will not lead to an error. So for example, how to declare a variable, functions, loop, and condition all have some rules, some syntax rules guiding them, so that you declare the right stuff. So if the syntax is not correct, of course you have an error. So you have to pay attention to each syntax rule. Now, JS variable. A variable is like a box in a computer's memory that stores data. So think of a memory as a box, and inside that box it needs to have a label. So the label of the box is like the variable name, then the content of the box is like the data that you store inside. So a variable is like a box in a computer's memory that stores data. Now in JavaScript, variables are used to store data such as string, number, boolean, array, object, etc. So any data that the computer does not understand cannot be stored inside the computer's memory. So that means there is a syntax for string, for storing string, number, boolean, array, and object. So if JavaScript must understand that, you have to follow the rules which I'm here to guide you. So some rules for choosing a variable name is this: a variable name must not be a keyword, begin with a number, or contain space. So that is what JavaScript, that is how the rules goes. You don't start with a number, but you can end with a number, must not contain space, and must not contain a keyword. So what is a keyword? JavaScript keywords are used to identify action to be performed. For example, if, var, let, while, function, etc. So if you use a keyword as a variable name, you run into some errors. So it's like a parent telling a child go right and the child is going left. So you see, it does not have, you won't get the desired result. So in order for you to get the desired result, you avoid using keyword because they have special meaning to the computer. They are reserved words, so you don't have to use them. Now, variable declaration using var, let, and const keyword. So that said, one of the syntax for declaring a variable, it must start with a keyword, and that is let, var, and const. So let's begin. So let's declare a variable. So I'll close this tab here. So thank you, Mr. Alert, we are done with you. So var a is equal to 1. So in the world of JavaScript, like from what you have seen me doing now, the browser is our output, because the HTML will be run on the browser, CSS browser. So JavaScript now can be understood by the browser because it has a set of program called, for Chrome is called V8 engine. So it helps you to understand JavaScript and compile it to the form that your computer can understand. So in order for us to test our JavaScript code, there is an inbuilt function called, or a method called console.log. So if I'm not sure about this, about the correctness of a statement, this is a statement because it is an executable line of code that ends with a semicolon. So I'll test it using the console.log. So I will just type CLG, hit enter. Now if you want to enjoy this fast feature, you need to go to your extensions, you download this extension ES7 React, Redux, Graphical, blah blah blah. Then you can choose this So once you install that, then you can quickly write console.log by using the shortcut CLG. So if I type A now and I save, then you notice I'm going to have 1 displayed here. So you see 1 is displaying here. So let me zoom this a little. Good. So I think I need to zoom this a little. Good. So now we have that. So let's declare another one using the let. So let b should be equal to 2. So again, I do my console.log b. So you notice, since a variable is like a box in the computer's memory, and like I said, each box, the variable name is like the name of the box. So if you know the name of the box, you can get the content of the box. So to see the content of the box, just reference the variable name here to show you the content inside. So that is how it works. So you cannot reference to, because it's 2 that is saved inside the box. So you just have to remember that. So if I do this, I'm going to see 2 again. Next, we declare the next one using const c is equal to 3. So console.log c. So you notice I'll still see 3 on my console. So now the question now comes, is there a difference between declaring, or is there an advantage or disadvantage of you declaring a variable using var, let, and const? So the first disadvantage is that you just need to note this, that let and const respect variable scope. So what is a variable scope? So let's go back to our PowerPoint. It says JS variable scope. So when you declare a variable outside of a function or a block, it is called a global variable, because it is accessible to any other code in the current document. So that means all these variables that we've declared outside of a function or a block can be accessed by any function or anything that we write here. It can be accessible by that. So when you declare a variable within a function or a block, it is called a local variable, because it is available only within that function or block. Block is any statement within a curly bracket. So now, for all these variables that is here, they are global variables. So they have the same level, globally scoped variable. So for let and const, what it means is that as I've used b to declare a variable, I cannot really declare another variable again using b. So but with var I can do that. So I'll first of all start with I usually nickname var as the evil var, because it can put you into some serious problem. So var does not respect variable scope. So now if I come here, I can come here and say var a is equal to maybe 33. So you notice I've above here I said var a is equals to 1. Now var a again is equals to this, and there is no error. So if I come here, I can say console.log a, you see there's no error to show me 33. So you see, now what can this do in a big project? Now let's say this A is meant to be a number, and even if I come here and put this to be a string, you see there is no error. It's just, so if this A was meant to be a number in this program, so that the program will not crash, and because of maybe this is like the 150 line, and I've forgotten that I've declared a variable as what, A. If I come down here to declare a variable and change it and change the type of data, that means my application can crash because of is a number. There are some methods or something that I've added, or that there are some maybe mathematical expression that I've done with this variable A that will crash. So because of this thing, you use var with wisdom. You don't use it anyhow. So from ESCs, they brought out let and const, which can help to mitigate this error, which can help to avoid this error, because someone might be saying, well, this could work yesterday, but today is not working because you forgot to keep track of your variable names. So now you notice here I have a variable called B and C. So let's see, we say that let and const respect variable scope. So if I come here and say let B should be equal to 44, you notice the wave sign there. Now if I hover there, the IntelliSense will show me cannot really declare block scope variable B. So it's telling me that I've already declared a variable here called B, so I cannot redeclare it again. So if I stubbornly refuse, I say, what are you saying? I go to my console, I put B again. So you see what to show you an error. Uncut syntax error. Identifier B has already been what? Declared. So as long as you refuse to change this, your entire application will crash. So you see, so it does not allow that, but rather it allows for updating. So if I remove this, I can do this, and you see B is now 44. So when you declare a variable and initialize it, when you declare a variable and you want to update the value, it's called and change the value, is called updating the value, rather updating. So that's it. So in order for you guys to always remember, let me give you the structure of a variable. I totally forgot that. So I'll give you the structure of a variable. So variable, so I'll display variable structure. So if I have let be equal to 2, so the let here, so let is keyword for declaring variable, B is variable name, then equal to is an assignment operator, then 2 is the value of type number, so is a number data type number. So that is the structure. So there's also another structure. Now when you declare a variable like this, that means you're declaring the variable and initializing it. So the initializing it means that you are adding a value to it. So but there's another structure here, which is, I can say let C, I just end it like this. So this means that this is an uninitial, this okay is an uninitialized variable. So this is the syntax. So because let allows you to update a variable, so let's say I don't know what this variable will be, so I just declare them, then later I can update it by adding a value. So I can come here and I put C is now 33. So now this one is now initializing it. So if you declare a variable and you add a value, you have declared and initialized it at the same time. So that is the structure. So you see that for let now we can't use the same variable name twice in the same scope. But let me show you something. So what if I come here, I put a block. So you know from the slide here it says block is anything within what? A curly bracket. So let's come down here and I say let b be equal to 22. Now you notice, so if I say consider log b, you notice there's no error because this is inside a block. So now the b here now is a local variable. Are you seeing that? So that is why it did not throw an issue. Then why the b above here is what? A global variable. So because it's inside a block. Okay, so let's try that of C. So you remember we have a let's see. So where is it? So let's see is equal to 3. So let's try to redeclare another variable again. So const C is equal to 3. So const C, let's use equal to 55. So again we have this. Cannot redeclare plus code variable C. So see, just like let, they respect the scoping. But what if I remove this? Now I don't want to declare it. Let's say I want to update it. Oh, it seems to work. So let's see whether it works. So consider log C. So it's showing me a uncaught type error. Assignment to a constant variable. So just like the keyword we used to declare the variable C, const, it means constant. So it then means once you declare a constant variable, JavaScript does not want you to attempt updating it because it's not allowing you. So it is meant to be constant all throughout the application. So any variable that you want to declare using const, you just know that variable will not change throughout your application. But if you need to update the variable data at some point in your application, you use what? You use let. So since let and const can give you what you want, there's no need for you to use var, because if you forget your variable name, if you don't keep track of them, it then means your VS Code intelligence will not help you and you will run into some errors. So that means we cannot update C. So can't be updated. So that is how it works. So by this we comment the whole of this, because that will leave us with some errors. So if I save this, the error is gone, and this 3 is based on the results we have here. Nice. So that is how we declare variables using var, let, and const. I believe with this you now know the structure of a variable. So if you miss it, that means you have some, you will not be able to declare a variable correctly. So let's move to the next one, which is comments. So you have seen me using comments, so this is it. So I'm using all these things are comments. So what are JS comments? So comments are ignored and will not be executed. You can use comments to add meaning to your code. This is good for you and others who read your code. So we have two types of comment in JavaScript: the line comment and the multi-line comment. So in JavaScript, in VS Code, you don't have to remember what a comment looks like, but just know that to bring out a line comment in any programming language you're learning or you're writing using VS Code, just hold your control and / so that will bring that. If you want your multi-line comment, Control Shift A, so that will bring your multi-line comment. So because comments are ignored, they will not show on your browser, so that is why, or on the output. So that is why, as you can see, I'm not seeing any of those comments here. So that is for that. Then the next one is JavaScript is case sensitive, and that means last name is not the same as last name. You recall in our HTML, I told you that you can use capital letters for your tag names or small letters for your tag name. It works, but for JavaScript that is not true. JavaScript is case sensitive, so what you write, you must reference it with that. So JavaScript operators. Now JavaScript operators are used to perform different types of mathematical and logical computations. So this is very, very important. Now we can group operators into the following groups. We have the arithmetic operators, we have the comparison operators, we have the compound operators, and we have other operators. Now operators look like keywords, but they're not keywords. They are just symbols that mean something to the computer. So that's why you see JavaScript operators are used to perform different types of mathematical and logical computation. So let's start with the first one, which is arithmetic operators. So let's start with that. So start with that. So if you have your beta comment, so you can go to your extensions, beta comment. If you install it, then you can add colors to your comment instead of the default green. So I'll add here arithmetic, now they spell it, arithmetic operators. So the first one, so let's declare a new set of variables. So let's say let e be equal to 5, then let f be equal to 6. So arithmetic operators, the first one, so we can have them. So let me just list them out. Shift Alt A, and I think I should bring this up. So arrow up. So the arithmetic operators, we have this, this is for plus. So already know this plus, but plus, we have this minus, we have this, oh, that didn't show, multiplication. So I think I need to highlight this. No, what is it? I need to use my tab key, tab, yes. Then next I have my this, which is my, okay, I already have that there. This is my multiplication. So it's not showing correctly because of I'm using asterisk. Then we have this division. We have the percentage, which is the modulus. Now this modulus, it pays attention to the result of the division. So let's say if I say here, for example, if I say 2 divided by 2, this will be equal to what? 1, right? But if you do the same thing modulus, if you say 2 modulus 2, this will be equal to 0. Now how is that so? Remember, in this one, 2 divided by 2 is 1 remainder 0. So also the same thing here, it will be equal to what? 1 remainder 0. So the modulus is concerned about the remainder, not the result of the division. And that is why if I come here and I say 3 modulus 2, 3 modulus, not that, 3 modulus 2, you notice that the result will be equal to 1, because that is because it's 1 remainder 1. Okay, lastly, if I say 5 modulus 3, so that would be equal to what? 2, because you have 1 remainder 2. So you have 1 remainder 2. So that is how the modulus works. So you see me using this modulus to write some logic to spot even numbers. So that is how we use this. So I think let me shift this back a little, shift and tab, okay, so that they are in line. Nice. Okay, so we have that. Now any other arithmetic operator, so we have this, so we have the times, which is power. So this is like 2 times 3, so it's like 2 times 2 times 2, that will give you 8, so which is equal to 8, which is equal to 2 times 2 times 2, which is equal to 8. So it's like 2 raised to the power of 8. So that is your arithmetic operator. So let's try to check this out. So if I have my console.log, this, if I say e plus f, so what I'll do is to move this down, shift or arrow down. So e minus f, e divided by this, e times this, e times this, then e modulus this. So to be a very good programmer, you must learn to compile JavaScript. So because you're learning a language, you should try to know the expected result. So 5 plus 6 is what? Is 11. So that is the expected result. Then 5 minus 6, that should be minus 1. So I think I should change this, going to have a higher number. So this will be because of the modulus. So 6 plus this should give you 13. Then this should give you 1. Then this divided by this should give you 1 point something. Then this times this should give you 42, I think, because 6 times 6 is 32, plus another one should be 42. It's 36 rather. 6 times 6 is 36. Then this times this, 6 to the power 6, that would be going to be a very high number. 6 times that is going to be huge. Then this modulus this I know is 1. So let's try the output. So if I save, you're going to see this. So you see that is a huge number. I know it's 1 point something. So you see we almost got all of them. See, apart from this one, that is going to be a huge number. That is this raised to the power of this. So you see that JavaScript has that arithmetic operator. So the next one is the comparison operators. So let's move to that one. So my comparison operators. So again, my multi-line comment. So in the comparison operator, you have this, which is equal to. You have this, which is strictly equal to. You have this, which is, let me see. Okay, you have this, which is your logical, and you have this, which is your logical, or you have this, which is your logical not. So where is that? Then which other one again? You have this, which is greater than. You have this, which is less than. Then which other one again? Yes, for the arithmetic operators, I forgot one. So you have this, which is decrement by 1. You have plus 2. You have increment by 1. So if we apply that here, so remember my E is 7, so if I say plus, that would decrement to what? 8, and I come here, I say minus, that would decrement to 7. Minus. So let's check the expected output. I just forgot that. Oh, the wrong save. So you see, so we have our 7. So I don't know why this is not working, so let me go to the back. So you have 8 and this minus. So we have 8 and 7. So that's the expected result. So you're wondering why I'm putting it at the back. Well, it still works, but up to now I have not figured out why the front one is not giving me the expected result, but this was a knowledge I grabbed from C++, but it still works in JavaScript, so that's fine. So that is for that. So we have the logical operators, the comparison operators. So the equal to is double assignment operator, which is equal to, strictly equal to. We have this, we have this, we have this, we have. Okay, so there's nothing more. I don't think there's another one again, but if I remember, I will update. Now there's something I want to demonstrate with the logical operators, so that you follow along with me when I'm doing this. So for the logical or, so say logical, so I'll not interact again, I'll just put the symbol. So logical or is like multiplication. So to show you that, let's say I have two conditions. So I have condi1, let me just write condition 1, condition 2, then I have result, and I have action. So now you use this logical operators to like compare two things which must be boolean, which is either true or false. So in the set of this, so true is the same thing as 0, is something as 1, then false, so let me end that, false is the same thing as 0. So if my condition 1 is true, now as we'll soon see, comparison operators always end up, the final value is a boolean, which is either true or false. So the condition that is represented here is the result of a comparison operator that we'll soon see. So if the first result is true, come here, and the second one is false, we say that multiplication is like times. So 1 times 0 will give you 0. So that means the action will be what? The action will be false. So that means the action will not be carried out. So shift alt arrow down 1, 2, 3. So if this action is false and this is true, it's still 0, because 0 times 1 is still 0. And if they are both false, that is 0 times 0 is what? Is 0, so it's still false. So only when they are 1, so that is when the condition will be true and the action will be carried out. So that is what the logical AND does. So let's move to the logical OR. So I'll just clone this, shift up arrow down. So I'll come here, give some room. So the logical OR is like addition. So still the same thing holds here. So if the condition 1 is true and this is false, 1 plus 0 is 1, so that means the action will be carried out true. If this one is false, this one is true, so 1 plus 1 is still what? 1, so the action will be carried out, which is true. So if they are both 0, 0 plus 0 is what? 0, so it will still be false. then 1 plus 1 is true. So you notice that for the logical AND, only when both condition is true, that is when the action will be carried out. But for the logical OR, only when both condition is false, that is when the action will be carried out. But if either of them is true, the action will be carried out. So then what about the logical NOT? So if something is true, so let's say Ismail be equal to true. So if I say not Ismail, so that means the result will be what? False. So it just negates it. So if it is true, change it to false. If it is false, change it to what? True. So with that, let's have some things to do here. So let's say let G be equal to 7. So I can come here, I can say consider log G greater than 8. So what will be the output? Now, to avoid confusion, what you need to do is this. Just make sure that you check the one that is facing, that is not a sharp edge. So is it lesser? So G is 7. Is 7 greater than 8? So it's not true. So that will be what? That will be false. So if I bring it down again and reverse it, so is 8 greater than 7? Of course that is true. So true. Then is 8 equal to what? Is 7 equal to 8? Of course that is not true. So it will be false. So you see, you try to understand what the output will be. Don't always rely on the output here. Try to. Then is 8 strictly equal to, so I want to do this one now. Is 8, let me use 8 here. Is 8 equal to 8? I think here will be true. So let me, then is 8 equal to the string of 8? So what do you think the answer will be? The answer will be false. Now why is that so? Because in strict equality, there must be of the same value and type. So you notice that here, this one is a number data type, this one is a string, so they are not equal. So let me test your knowledge again. Is 8 equal to the string of 8? Well, for this equality, it doesn't care about the data type, it just cares about the value. So the answer will be true. Okay, so that is for that. Then for compound, for the logical AND, I can have this. So let's say this, we have G is greater than 8 and G less than 10. So this now serves as our condition 1 and this serves as our condition 2. So you resolve them. So is 7 greater than 8? Of course the answer is what? Is false. But is 10 greater than 7? Of course the answer is true. So what will be the, what did I type there? So what will be the final value? So because this one is false and this one is true, the answer will be what? False. You remember this truth table. For a logical AND, the answer is always true when both of them are true. So let me test your knowledge again. So what if I change this to an OR? So what do you think the answer will be? The answer will be what? True, because one of them is true. And remember from the two table here, only when both of them is false, that is when an or this thing gives false. So that is for the logical operator. Now let me test your understanding again. So let's say I add a bracket here. I add a bracket here again. Then I put this exclamation sign here. So is 7 greater than 8? The answer is false. But this not here now, remember, not changes a boolean to the opposite. So the opposite of false is what? Is true. Now is 10 greater than 7? The answer is true. So because both answers are not true, so this will turn what? True. So you need to play around with all of them and you will see. So if I save this now, you're going to see the result in likely this order. So you see, so let's start with the first one. False, true, false, true. So just like that, true, true. So you see, so we got the order. So that is it for the comparison operator. Then the last one is the compound, or the second to last is the compound operator. Compound operator. So the compound operator, they are like two operators that you join to mean something else. So let's say we have this other one. Let's say plus equal to. So this is equivalent to, let's say, A plus equal to B. This will result to, so this can also mean A equal to A plus B. So that is what that means. So if I have A minus B, so this will mean A minus this and this minus this. So you see that in all we are updating A, because if A was 1 before, then if B was 2, so 1 plus 2 is what? Will be 3. That means A will change from 1 to what? 3, but B remains the same. So likewise the same thing here. So we are updating A. So same thing goes here. Compound operator, we have our multiplication, so it has dim because I put it inside the multi-line comment. So let me see if this will make it to bright open, not really to put an exclamation. Okay, but that has crossed it. Okay, so let's manage it like that. So I think adding a slash makes it a bit brighter. Okay, so we have this, which is, so let me remove this one. It's not, oh, it's inherited. So let's add the modulus. So the modulus here, so this will be times and this will be the modulus. So the last one, we have our division. So this will mean divide, and this will mean divide. So let's try this out. So if I have, so let t be equal to 9. So if I say consider log t plus equal to 1, what will be the answer? Well, that is same as saying t plus 1, well, that is what? 9 plus 1, that is what? 10. So that is it. So you see the structure is above. So what if I say minus? So that will give you, now remember from what we've done here, now we've updated our a. So our a is now, our t is now equal to what? 10. So 10 minus 9, 10 minus 1 will now become what? Still 9. So let's check that. So let me save. So you see 10 and 9. So we know that. So once you are able to reason and think in JavaScript, then you don't have any issue. So let's have the division. No, not that. So 9 divided by 1, that was to give you 9, of course. Then 9, so it's 9 what's that one again? Do we have modulus? So let's continue. So this 9 modulus this. So this 9 modulus this. So let's add 2 here, so it's not compulsory to be 1. So nine divided by 2, 9 modulus 2 will give us 4 remainder 1. So this one will give us 1. Then let's do the last one, which is this times. So the last one was 9, so this 9 modulus 2 give us 1, so t is now 9, so 1 times 2 will give us 2. So is the last result that we want you to do your next one. So if we save this, I think we'll have the same output. So you see, just like we got our own. So this is the compound operator. Then the other operator, which is this one, the other operators. Then it's not only this one. For the compound operators, we missed some of them. Just remember that one now. So we have this one is greater than or equal to think I added that one in the comparison operator. So this one is meant to be in the comparison operator, not here, because they are used for comparison. So the comparison operators can still add more. So they are still part of the compound operators, but so you have the less than or equal to, then you have the greater than or equal to, then you also have, so this one is less than or equal to, then you have the greater than, or equal to, then we have, so we have this one. This one has to do with strict equality. So this one is strictly greater than or equal to. So I think I should move this one. So let me to save typing. So this one is, so if I add an extra one here, this will be strictly less than or equal to. So another one here, this one will be strictly. So you know what strictly means is it compares both the value and the data type. Then we have this one is strictly not equal to, strictly not equal to, and we have this other one, not equal to. Know what this, when I'm highlighting it, is doing its own. So I'll use the shortcut, which is not equal to. So that is it for the other one. Then the other one that is for, so I'll show you the other operators. It's just one, it's not much. So other operators is just the assignment operator, which is this one. This is assignment operator. Okay, so let's try to understand these other ones that were added. Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So we still have our G here. So if I have const.log, I will say is G greater than or equal to or equal to 8. So you remember the logical OR. So if one of them is true, then it will be true. So G is 7. Is it greater than 8? No. Is it equal to 8? No. So that will be false. Then we have this other one, G less than or equal to. So is 8 greater than 7 years? Is it equal to this? No. So it will be true. So if one of it is true, so that holds true for the strictly equal to. So if you add this, and if you add this, so I don't think this is a valid expression. So I think that only works for the not equal to. Yes, so this one is not, these ones, they are not valid expressions. Those ones, they are not valid expressions, so we can't test them out. Then so is 7 equal to 8? That is false. Not equal to is what? We'll now make it true. Now that is also the same thing here, so this will be true likewise. But this strictly not equal to this. Now if I bring it down here and change this to, of course, to do that you have to change this to 8 too. So I believe we got the principle. So we don't usually use this one much, but that's how it works. Like, I mean, that's how it works. Then the not equal to, strictly not equal to. So that is the only few things we added. So if we save it, you're going to see false, true, true, true. So let's see. False, true, true, true. So we are in order. So that is it for the logical operators. So this code I'm going to send it to you, and you're going to learn from them. So in the next video we are going to learn about how to declare variables of the following data types. So see you in that video.